Okay everyone, welcome back. Our first topic for the new year is negative numbers. Now, there's two ways that you'll think about negative numbers in real life. One is when you think about temperature, and that's quite relevant just now because if you think about it, it's been quite cold outside. We've had negative number temperatures if you've been watching the weather. And the other that you might not be quite so sure about, okay, but is sometimes when we think about money, if we owe people money. So we've got a few different tasks this week. There's a thing on My Maths that you can do, an activity on My Maths, and I'll let you work through that yourself. But this little video should help you with the chapter from the textbook and also the worksheet. Now, if I was you, what I would do, and I've written this in the explanation, but just a little reminder, I would do exercise 1 and exercise 2 from the textbook. Okay, so do these first of all, exercise 1 and exercise 2 from the textbook. Okay, and then do the thermometer sheet. And only if you finish all that and you're happy with all of that would I tell you to go on and do the rest of the chapter from the textbook. Okay, guys? The textbook answers are there, the thermometer answers are there, and there's going to be a wee homework sheet that you can just do for revision as well. Anyway, let's have a think about this idea about negative numbers. So if I was to say to you that the temperature was -3 outside, then what would that look like on a thermometer? Now, with a thermometer, we usually have them vertically, but sometimes you'll see them horizontally. And if we've got -3 on a thermometer, 0 would be there, 1 would be here, 2 would be here, and so on. But then below 0 is where you get your negative numbers. So we would have -1, -2. There would where -3 degrees Celsius would be. Okay, so thinking about that. So you're counting backwards from 0. We're going back 1, 2, 3. So that's why it's -3. We would then obviously have -4 and -5 degrees Celsius and so on. So the first activity is just reading those temperatures off and using a bit of decimal scale. Okay. What else you've got to do when you're thinking about the thermometers though is thinking about the difference in temperature. So whether something's up or down from another temperature or how far up or down it is. So I'm going to rub this thermometer out and give us a slightly bigger one to work with now. Okay, so we're going to go between 10 and -10. That's quite a big line for me to draw. Okay, and I'm going to have to make it quite small to fit all on this screen. When you do the exercise in your textbook page, it actually goes from 24 to -24. So you've got quite a lot to work with there. The numbers go up in 2s on that. I'm going to try and not go up in 2s here, but I'll mark on just every second number. See, we've got lines for them all, like you've got in the textbook. Oh, that one's wrong. That would have to be 4 if we're going up in 2s, wouldn't it? Okay, so every little line between is a number. Okay, it just saves a little bit of space. So that goes 0. This one in here would technically be 1. I'm just not writing the odd numbers. I'm writing the even numbers in. And then we would have -1. Then we've got -2, -3, -4, or -4. That's supposed to be. There we go. Then that's -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, and -10. So we're just going to work with this little range here, guys. Okay, so I'm going to ask you questions in 2 different ways with this. I'm going to ask you first of all, what would be 3 degrees Celsius up from -5? So what would the answer to that question be? So we find where -5 is. Now -5 is here, remember, it's between -4 and -6. If we're going up this way in the thermometer, so 1, 2, 3, the answer would be 2. So let me just show you that again. Okay. So we're starting at -5, we're going up 1, going up 2, going up 3, so the answer is -2. Okay. Let me get rid of that line and do another question. Okay, so get rid of the... Oh, that's not what we wanted, was it? I'll just draw that line back in. There we go. Okay. Now, What about if I asked you what was 7 degrees Celsius down from 1 degree Celsius? So we find our starting value, which is 7. So we're going to start at 7. That's halfway between 6 and 8, so that's here. And we're going, that's not right at all, is it? We're going 7 degrees down from 1. So we start at 1 and we're going down 7. So important that we read the question. So we go down 1, that takes me to 0. 2 takes me to -1. 3 takes me to -2, so go down 4, 5, 6, 7, and I've got to -6. So 7 degrees down from 1 degree Celsius is -6 degrees Celsius. Okay. The other type of question I could ask you related to the thermometer, okay, and let me just get rid of these bits again, okay, is I could ask you about the difference between temperatures. So, if I said to you, right, 3 degrees Celsius is something from -6 degrees Celsius. Okay, we're working out the difference between them now. So, 3 degrees Celsius is here. Okay, this is 3 here, between 2 and 4. And -6 is down here. So, how many jumps do we have? How many numbers are we going up? And some of you will manage this in your head, and some of you will want this little number line to help. So, we're going to -5, so that's 1. -4 is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9, and we're going up the way, okay, from -6 to 3. So it's 9 degrees Celsius up from -6 degrees. Okay, what else? What about if I asked you, and I'm just going to change colour here for this final one to try and make it easier. So, where is -10 degrees Celsius from -4 degrees Celsius? So, -10 is there. We want to get there from -4. Okay, so from -4 we're going down this time, we notice. We're going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going down 6 degrees Celsius from -4. Okay, so that's helping us work out the difference. Now, the other time that you might see a little bit and think a little bit about negative numbers is when we're talking about money, and in particular when we might owe people money. Okay, so for instance, if I had £50 in my bank account, okay, and then I buy something that costs £20, something that costs £15, and something that costs £40, what's going to happen to my bank account? Well, if I add all of that up, I've got £75, yeah? We all happy with that? Now, I've only got £50, but I'm trying to spend £75. Now, the difference between those is I'm trying to spend £25 that I don't have. So my bank balance would now be what we call an overdraft, okay, or overdrawn, and it would say -25. Okay, so it means that I owe the bank £25 basically. Okay, so another idea was, what if I had my bank balance was -£30, but then I put in money into my bank account. So if I put in £12 and I put in £8, then I'm putting in £20 altogether. So I'm going from -30, but I'm adding in £20. So instead of owing them £30, I'm now only going to owe them £10 because I've made up £20 worth. So there's a little bit in the exercise talks about that, but that might be something you want to come on to Teams and have a little chat with me about if you're not sure. But hopefully that'll get you started, guys. And if we need another little video for the rest of it, then we can arrange one.